attempting to build a 3D printing table. I bought myself a 3D printer, which you may or may not have seen the build yet. I need a table for it, and I'm going to be building a table 30 by 24 by 24 or 25 high. Welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. This is the pile of rough lumber I'm going to be using to make the table for the 3D printer. That piece will be making 3 legs, and the other leg I'm going to take out of the best of the 2. Here you see the table material, the top of the table, and that's going to be the sides to which the legs will be fastened to, and the table will rest on top of the stand and will be fastened to it, probably by wedges or gluing or some other method, to be determined at a later date. Let's get started. Oh, hi. I just recently changed the knives and the bearings on this jointer. I'm just making sure that everything's still tight. That nothing worked its way loose. Before I chop up these boards to make my tabletop, my 3D printer tabletop, I'm going to make sure that I have a straight edge on this before I send it through the table saw, and then I'm probably going to put it through the planer, maybe, depending, maybe since the saw cut, if I put that underneath the table, it doesn't show. I really don't need to send it through the jointer or do any other modifications to it. The saw cut should be good enough. That's for the sideboards, but for the table boards, I should have one straight side before I send it through the table saw to make my boards that I will later glue together to make my coffee or my 3D printer top. This board was cut in a wedge. I'm going to have to actually draw out a line, straighten it out, and then actually send it through the jointer, then through the table saw. I'm going to be using the band saw to actually take the cut. This is purely through visual. I'm just going to line up the grain and with a pencil draw out a line. I've got to find a pencil first. On the pencil. I need at least 30 in length from here, so 30 will be around here. So, to give me a little more room, just going to line up the grain visually. And this piece of wood will be used for something else. It's never garbage. It can be reshaped. Move the fence. Table, make sure that this is proper tension on the blade. It's set with the wheel on top. Now just got to set the height. This oak is from Atlantic, Canada. It's not or it might be from Maine, I'm not sure. Back to the joiner, then to the table saw. I'm just going to be ripping out the wood, the knots, the wood that's less pretty. I only need one good face. When you're inspecting the wood, I'm going to look at the board and say I need a 30. The length of the board is going to be on the longest part of the board, so I'm going to put the grain, the board's glued on a 30 angle, and that's going to be 24 deep, right? So I'm going to look at the board and say, well, at 30, I'm just going to be missing this knot here, and there doesn't seem to be any splits in the wood on the ends. So if I flip it around, I see I have at least 3.5 inch pencil here somewhere. Let's see, so I can chop off the end, make sure there's no splits. I'll go 32, and at 32 I have 3.5 inch wide board. So that's going to be minus my 30. So I'm left with 26.5. I got to find 26.5 inches in that wood so I can glue them together. Oh, that's for 30, pardon. It's for, I want 24 deep. So this will leave me with 20 inches and a half left of width I have to find in that, or depth I have to find in that wood. Okay, so is this 30 inches? Nope. This will be one of the sides. Is this 30 inches? Yep. So before I actually start cutting out the boards, I'm just going to clean one end to see if there's any splits in there, and if I can get my 30 inches out of the length of the boards. And after that, I'll probably be sending it through the planer to make sure everything's the same thickness. If I look at the end of the board, just squared it off with my jointed, so this is a 90-degree corner. I have no cracks in my board, so that's a sound board. It'll make for a nice table material, tabletop material. And now if I look on this side, I can get more width out of this side than the other side, and I should be just, I'm just going to see what I can get out of it. I'll take a few passes and see what I can get out of it. I'm just going to adjust the blade height. It should never be too much. That way they're less likely to run your fingers through the blade. Homemade dust collector. That's what you just heard start up.